Hi friends! You know, out of all the many products Stampin' Up! Offers, the project kits are my very favorite. They really do make crafting simple and fun, and they don't take too long to put together. And when you're done, you have gorgeous handmade creations that make you look like the queen or king of crafting. Stampin' Up! Has outdone themselves yet again with the kit I am going to show you today. This one is the You're So Lovely project kit, and it is amazing. It comes with supplies to make 12 cards and 12 treat bags. Let me show you how cute these cards are. Let's flip through those quick. There's a lot of variety in this kit, so you can make these cards however you like. And then there's also 12 these glassine treat bags as well that you make tags for. And the mint macaron, and we also have some in the watermelon as well. Now, one of my favorite things about this kit is that it has a ton of extra supplies in it, which gives you room for even more creativity when you're putting together the projects, and it gives you some leftovers to play with when you're done. Now, I'm sure your demonstrator could give you some great ideas about what to do with all those extra goodies. The kit comes with everything you need except for the stamps, inks, and adhesive. So contact your demonstrator about getting together with a group of friends to stamp this kit, and they'll be able to bring those extra supplies to the class for you. There are a lot of fun ink techniques you'll do when you put this kit together, like brayering, sponging, and masking, and your demonstrator can also teach you everything you need to know to be an expert at all those techniques. You're going to have so much fun putting this kit together, and I have a few tips for you that will make it a little easier. Now, my first tip is, instead of working on one project start to finish, do all of your brayering and inking first. That's really going to speed up the process. Now, the kit includes this super fun sponge brayer, which, as the name suggests, is a combination of a brayer and a sponge. And sometimes you're going to want to use it like a brayer, and sometimes like a sponge. And I'll show you what I mean. You're going to start by picking the mask you want. This one is a diamond. It's hard to tell here, but you can use either the positive image or the negative image. So you can make the diamond shape, or you can make a sponge around the shape. I'll show you how to do both. So we're going to start here with the positive image. Just line up your stencil on your card. Open our ink here. And just really gently ink up your sponge. You don't need a lot of pressure. That could actually damage your pad, and it doesn't need to look like you have a lot of ink on the sponge. It actually soaks that up pretty well. And then you'll just roll this over your mask just like that until you get your diamond shape. The inking techniques get you a lot of variation in the color, so I can go with a little bit more pressure and more ink to get a darker watermelon, or I can go a little bit lighter on that as well. Now you can see how by doing that brayering technique, it lays that ink down really easily. I can keep up that motion, that rolling motion, or I can again use this like a sponge and rub that in a little bit. That just changes the texture. It gets rid of those kind of spotty marks in there. And there's not a right way or wrong way to do this. It just depends on what look you are going for. So there we have the positive image. Now to do the negative image, I found it a little easier to use my brayer more like a sponge. I've got the circle on this one now. So you can continue to roll over, but I found that was a little bit hard to get the shape I wanted. I just wanted a small outline around the circle there. So I found it a little easier just to continue to daub around the edges of the circle, or whatever shape you're working on. It was just a little bit easier to get that varied shape you were looking for. If your stencil slips, just stop and put that back into place. Just go all the way around until you have that fun negative image of the circle there. And again, same thing, you could rub that in if you wanted to give it a smoother look. I kind of like the spotty look on this one. Now the tags, it comes with sheets of tags for you. You'll just pop out the tags And this is another one, especially because you're working with such a small area, that I found it easier to just daub on that ink instead of trying to roll it. And you're going to want to lay down your ink first with the dauber and then stamp on top of that. Now the other project we use the brayer for in this is those glassine bags. The glassine bags come plain, and then we add that fun stenciling on there. So it comes with the stencil. The stencil, you have to pop out all of those tiny little arrows, and that's a little bit time consuming, but I found it worked pretty well if you kind of rolled the sheet back and forth like this. A lot of them will just pop out, so you don't have to do quite as much individual popping. Now for this one, now I've got little arrows all over the place. This stencil is larger than the glassine bag. Sometimes that can be difficult because you can't really hold the bag down. If you find that hard to roll with your brayer over this when you have nothing to hold it onto, just do small pieces at a time. So start up at the front, move your stencil up to the top so you can hold the stencil down, the mask and your bag at the same time. And then you can brayer over that and then just move it down. This one is symmetrical, so you'll be able to match up those lines and finish at the bottom. Now the brayer comes with 2 sponges. So you'll have one for Watermelon Wonder, and then you can just pop out that sponge and put the new one in when you want to do the mint macaron. So once you've sponged everything, you can move on to the stamping. Now this kit is designed to work with the You're So Lovely stamp set, and there are some great phrases in the stamp set for all occasions. We've got happy birthday, and you're so lovely, and congratulations, and enjoy your day. So you'll have a lot of options there with your phrases. And again, I mentioned it has a ton of extra. We have 20 different banners we can use here, even though the kit only makes 12 cards. So if you prefer one color over the other, you can do more of those. And this is also nice because if you make a mistake, you can just move on down to the next one. Now one tip for this one, the chalkboard paper does use the Whisper White craft ink, and this one will smear and smudge a little bit if you don't give it time to dry. So if you're a lefty, make sure you start from the right and stamp to the left so you're not smudging over that. And either way, if you're left-handed or right-handed, give it time to dry after you've stamped the banner outline before you put your greeting so you don't accidentally smudge your images there. So once everything is stamped and brayered, you get to come to the fun part of assembling your cards, and I have a few fun tips for you there as well. I'll grab these again. Now the die cut accents they've given you, again, we have a ton of extra pieces, which means you can get some great variety in these. You'll just pop out the one you want. We did the diamond on this one. Now another fun thing you'll notice, there are 2 different options for the circle. You have this fun, it's kind of a laurel wreath, you can see that, and also this squiggly circle there. So we've got a couple of different circle options. So let's look at the diamond. So pop out these middle sections. Now some of the masks, like the diamond and the star, are not symmetrical. So make sure you line up your piece before you put your glue on it. So this one, if I glued this way would be perfect. If I had this upside down, if I put the glue on this side and try to do it this way, it's not going to line up because it's not symmetrical. So make sure you line up your piece first before you put glue around the edges so you don't accidentally glue the wrong side. And your fine tip glue pen is your new best friend. It's going to make gluing up those little pieces in here a piece of cake. And the other thing you're going to want to remember is to cut your baker's twine first so you don't run out. So you'll have enough you need for all of your cards and glassine bags. And then you have enough of these enamel accents to do 4 on each card. So it gives you a lot of just wiggle room and creativity when you're creating these fun projects. And that's really all there is to it, to creating these beautiful cards and treat bags. And you'll have all those extra pieces you want to play with. But another fun thing is you'll have all these extra masks and the brayer that you can use for other projects in the future. So a good way to make use of that, if this butterfly shape looks familiar to you, it should. This shape is actually included in our bold butterfly framelets. So we already have a coordinating product that matches this kit. So you're going to really be able to extend the usage of your butterfly mask if you get the butterfly framelits to go with that as well. You'll be able to make a lot more fun projects. So contact your demonstrator today to book your You're So Lovely class. You and your friends are going to have a fantastic time together creating these beautiful projects. So have fun crafting, and I will see you soon. So the video's over, but you can hang around for a bit if you want. I am just catching up on my thank you notes. Let's see, where was I? Thank you, Australia, for giving us Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth. Keep up the excellent work. All right, who was next? Thank you, Netflix, for making it possible for me to binge watch all of my favorite shows during my late night stamping escapades. And one more to go. Thank you, stamping friends, for clicking the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of Stampin' Up's fantastic videos. I promise it's the best decision you'll ever make. Love, Holly. All right, that's all I've got for today, but if you clicked the subscribe button, then I will see you again next time. Goodbye.